Morocco. It's about an EXO project for Arab terms. So he sent us a video. He's unable to come.
Good morning, everybody. I will present you the regional gender research network in Africa and the Middle East into ICTs for empowerment, called GRACE Network, whose I am a member, and more precisely, the Tunisian team leader. This is the logo of GRACE. We all know that the power of ICTs is their ability to connect people around the world and enable networking, and then the emergence of an online community and online working groups, what favor a human development based on a vision of society conducive to empowerment. In this context, and starting from the postulate that access to and use of ICTs is both a gender and a development issue, the GRACE network was managed by the GRACE Project Voluntary Association based in South Africa. The GRACE network was launched in 2005 on the issue of the ICTs and women's empowerment. In a first step, this network was involved with 14 researchers teams from 12 African countries. Then in a second stage, which began in 2008, it was expanded to include 14 other researcher teams from 7 countries of the MENA region. This has led to the formation of an African and Middle Eastern network of gender and ICT researchers, as you see it in this map. The objectives are, first, the formation of a research network for capacity building of researchers in Africa and the MENA region. Second, the training of researcher skills for change in various institutions in Africa and MENA region, and this by mastering the techniques and methodology of a transformative research based on a participatory approach. Third, the production of knowledge that can influence policy at local and regional level. And fourth, the sharing of knowledge and experiences and learning. The organizational structure of GRACE Network includes a management team and research teams consisting of team leaders and of researchers. This is the composition of the management team. Regarding researchers, almost majority of researchers involved in the network are academics from various specialties: humanities, social science, media and information science, economics, environmental sciences, life sciences, medicine, nursing sciences, agriculture sciences, chemistry, computer sciences, and gender studies. Some of them are activists of civil society regarding women's rights. Here, as in this table, you see the researchers. On the left, the team leader. In the middle, there are various specialties, multiple specialties, and on the right, their countries. Each network, here you see 2 colors. The green one is for Africa, GRACE Africa Network 2, number 2, launched in 2008. And in yellow, the network of MENA region. Each network, African and of MENA region has its own way, but they keep between them bi-directional links for sharing and learning. In addition to the interactions between researchers, those between researchers and the coordination team who is specialized in this kind of research were of great wealth. All the individual research projects which must fit into the general theme of the network, ICTs and women's empowerment, and thus come under the problems of gender and development, are defined by the researchers themselves according to their importance in their respective societies. This has led to a variety of research topics, as you see it in this map. Grace Africa 1, for example, 14 research projects from 12 African countries. On the left, we have the research questions, and on the right, the countries. Grace 1, and the Grace Africa 2 launched in 2008 with 10 research projects from 8 African countries. And finally, the Grace MENA with 14 research projects from 7 countries. All the research initiated within the framework of this network try to explore how technology disclosure then can change gender realities women in Africa and the MENA region, but also to delimit the experiences of women's empowerment in the context of their gender, economic and political, social, cultural. The goal of these researches is building a large body of research on how African and Arab women access to and use ICTs, what will enrich our understanding of development problems in general and of African and Arab development in particular, and will influence policies and interventions to help reduce the obstacles women currently encounter. Regarding the work has begun by writing and submitting a proposal, and then the acceptance by the coordinators team of the network of the research proposals is a mandatory step. Training a research, the third step is the training a research methodology, for example, provided by the executive and the project directors of the network during 2 workshops, for example, for MENA region, during 2 workshops of a few months of interval, one in Yemen and one in Lebanon. The other step is the achievement of the field work. And then 2 training workshops are necessary, one on writing and one on methodology analysis. For example, for MENA region network, these workshops are held respectively in Tunis and in Amman, and were organized by the coordinator teams and the researchers. However, most exchanges and communication between the members of the network are made through the internet, website, mailing list, Skype, social networks as Facebook and Twitter. All the information on this research network are recorded on the GRACE website as the biographies of researchers. I put my biography, but all the biography of researchers are in the website. The news of researcher. I give 3 examples here. Publication of researcher. I give an example. One of my articles on the place of Tunisian women in science was published on GRACE website. The findings emerging from these 2 research phases have been captured in 2 books. The first one entitled African Women and ICT, Investigating Technology, Gender and Empowerment, was published in 2009. The second book is currently being published. Its title is The Changing Selves, Changing Societies, Women, Gender and ICT in Africa and the Middle East. The main lesson learned from this experience is that the working in network through internet is a great enrichment for the researcher and for the researcher by speeding up the communication and the exchange of experiences, information, and knowledge, what is of the highest importance in the field of research. However, from what we have learned so far, the following ideas can be shared for the purpose of integrating Arab e-infrastructure in a global environment, e-age 2013. One, empowerment leads women to perceive themselves as capable of understanding decisions and making choices. Second, access to ICT for women empowerment is access to education and to information. Third, women empowerment in both society and work is supported by ICTs, which can provide tools to enable women to make choices about their lives in the household and in the community. And thank you for your attention. Mrs. Najwa Kamoun, General Director of the National Institute of Research and Physicochemical Analysis.